Have you tried turning it off and on again? I asked, trying to keep my voice level as my sister Amanda's face filled my laptop screen during our video call. Don't patronize me, she snapped, her perfectly styled hair bouncing as she shook her head. I'm a senior partner at Maxwell & Brooks. I don't have time for basic IT jokes. Just fix it remotely or whatever it is you do. I glanced at my other monitor, where lines of code for my company's new AI security protocol scrolled past. The project was worth billions, but to Amanda I was still the little sister who was good with computers. I can't just fix it remotely without knowing what's wrong, I explained for what felt like the 100th time. Ugh, fine. She rolled her eyes. The merger documents for the Wilson Tech acquisition are encrypted and we can't access them. Happy now, IT girl? This is literally the biggest deal our firm has handled, and I need to review these documents before tomorrow's meeting. I froze. Wilson Tech. Of course. Send me the file, I said, already knowing what I'd find. After all, I'd designed the encryption protocol myself. Finally. See, was that so hard? Amanda's voice dripped with condescension. I'll have my assistant send it over. Just do your little computer thing and fix it. 10 minutes later I was staring at the encrypted files. The same files I'd secured personally when Wilson Tech began acquisition talks with Phoenix Global, my company. Done, I said, sending back the decrypted documents. But Amanda. Great, you're a lifesaver. Even if you were just playing with computers all day. Got to go, big meeting to prep for. She hung up before I could finish. I leaned back in my chair in my private office on the top floor of Phoenix Tower. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, Seattle's skyline glittered in the afternoon sun. On my desk sat the latest issue of Forbes, my face on the cover, Alex Chin, the billion-dollar code queen. My phone buzzed, a message from our legal team. Ms. Chin, final merger documents prepared for tomorrow's meeting with Maxwell & Brooks. Will you be signing as CO, or should we have the board chair present? I smiled, thinking about tomorrow's meeting. About Amanda walking into that conference room, expecting to face Wilson Tech's leadership. Instead, she'd find her little sister. Not as an IT support person, but as the CEO of Phoenix Global, the tech conglomerate worth $50 billion that was acquiring Wilson Tech. For 10 years I'd let her believe I was just a low-level IT worker. Through every family gathering, every condescending comment, every time she demanded I fix her computer like I was her personal tech support. Remember that time you tried to start a company in college? She'd laughed at last Christmas. Thank God you settled for a steady IT job instead. What she didn't know was that little company had grown into Phoenix Global, one of the largest tech conglomerates in the world. While she climbed the ladder at her law firm, I'd built an empire. But I'd kept it quiet, using my Chinese name Xiaoying Chen in all business dealings. Only tomorrow in that conference room would everything connect. I picked up my phone to text our legal team. I'll be signing. And please make sure Ms. Amanda Brooks from Maxwell & Brooks handles the final review personally. My assistant knocked on my door. Ms. Chin? The board is ready for the pre-merger briefing. I stood straightening my Armani suit. Coming. I paused at my desk looking at the family photo from last Thanksgiving. Amanda stood in the center, commanding attention as always, while I lingered at the edge, deliberately unremarkable in my simple sweater and jeans. Tomorrow everything would change. Tomorrow my sister would learn that her IT girl was actually the CEO she'd been desperately trying to impress for months. Sometimes the best revenge isn't proving people wrong immediately. It's waiting for the perfect moment to show them just how wrong they've been all along. The morning of the merger meeting, I arrived at Phoenix Tower at 6 a.m., 3 hours before the scheduled meeting. The early morning fog wrapped around the building's glass exterior, creating an almost mythical atmosphere. My executive assistant, Maria, met me in my office with a stack of documents and my usual morning green tea. Your sister called the office 4 times last night, she said, hiding a smile. She wanted to speak directly with CEO Chin about some concerns in the merger documents. And I told her, as instructed, that Ms. Chin only communicates through proper channels during active negotiations. Maria paused. She was not pleased. I could imagine. Amanda had always hated not being the most important person in any room. Has she figured it out? I asked, scanning through my emails. Not even close. She asked if I could patch her through to our IT department, Said her sister works here and might be able to help expedite things. I couldn't help but laugh. 10 years of letting people underestimate me had become almost an art form. While Amanda boasted about her law firm partnership at family gatherings, I'd built Phoenix Global from a startup in my garage into a tech empire. Our AI security systems protected 80% of Fortune 500 companies. Our quantum computing division had revolutionized data processing. But to my family, I was still just good with computers. At 8:30 a.m. Maria returned. Maxwell and Brooks representatives are in the building. Your sister is apparently lecturing their junior associates about proper merger protocol in the lobby. I pulled up the security feed on my tablet. There was Amanda, in her designer suit, holding court among a group of nervous-looking young lawyers. Even through the silent video feed I could read her lips. Remember, we're meeting Phoenix Global soon. This is the biggest tech acquisition of the year. Don't embarrass me. Let's make them wait in the Jade conference room, I said. I'll be monitoring from here until 9. The Jade conference room was specifically designed to intimidate. 60 floors up, with walls of smart glass that could turn transparent to reveal the dizzying height at the touch of a button. The table was a single piece of polished jade, worth more than Amanda's annual salary. Through the security feeds I watched as they were escorted in. Amanda immediately took the power position at the table, directly opposite where the CEO would sit. Classic Amanda, always positioning herself as the equal of anyone she met. At 8:55 I stood straightening my Tom Ford suit. Time to go be a CEO. Maria handed me a folder. The final merger documents. And she hesitated, your sister's performance reviews from Maxwell and Brooks. I raised an eyebrow. She's been taking credit for her junior associates' work, Maria explained. 3 of them complained last month. I thought you should know. That was Amanda, always building herself up by pushing others down. Just like she'd done to me all these years. The walk to the conference room took exactly 3 minutes. Through the frosted glass I could hear Amanda's voice. The CEO is late. Typical tech people, no respect for proper business protocol. I checked my watch. 8:59 a.m. The doors opened exactly at 9. I walked in followed by my executive team. Amanda was mid-sentence, her back to the door, still holding court. Honestly, these tech CEOs think they're so important just because Just because what, Amanda? My voice stopped her cold. She turned slowly, her face already arranged in the condescending smile she reserved for people she thought were beneath her. Then our eyes met. The smile died. Her face went through a series of expressions. Confusion, disbelief, shock, horror. Her mouth opened and closed, but no sound came out. Alex, she finally managed to whisper. I smiled professionally, taking my seat across from her. That's Ms. Chin in this room, Ms. Brooks. Shall we begin? The sound of her expensive fountain pen clattering to the jade table echoed in the sudden silence. The next 30 minutes were deliciously uncomfortable. Amanda sat frozen as I led the meeting, presenting Phoenix Global's vision for the merged companies, outlining our expansion plans, and detailing the technical innovations we'd implement. Every time I used a complex technical term, her face twitched. Each time I referenced a billion-dollar project, her complexion paled slightly more. By the time I pulled up our company's global operations statistics on the room's panoramic screens, she looked like she might faint. Now, I said, turning to the smart glass walls and tapping a control. The glass turned transparent, revealing the vertigo-inducing view of the city below. Let's discuss the concerning issues we've found in Maxwell and Brooks' handling of this merger. Amanda's head snapped up. Concerning issues? I pulled out a tablet. Yes. For instance, the credit attribution on the preliminary documentation. I scrolled through the files. According to these documents, you personally handled the technical review of our AI architecture. She swallowed hard. I supervised the team that. Interesting. I pulled up more documents. Because according to these internal communications, it was actually 3 of your junior associates who did that work. Associates who, coincidentally, filed complaints about credit theft last month. The other lawyers from her firm shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Amanda's face turned scarlet. That's an internal matter, she stammered. Not anymore. I leaned forward. You see, Phoenix Global has a very strict ethical code. We believe in giving credit where it's due. In fact, I smiled, that's why I kept my position here quiet for so long. I wanted to succeed on merit, not family connections. Understanding finally dawned in her eyes. All these years, she whispered. When you said you worked in tech. I built this company from nothing, I confirmed. While you were mocking me for playing with computers, I was revolutionizing cybersecurity. While you were demanding I fix your laptop like your personal IT support, I was developing the AI systems that protect most of the world's financial institutions. The room was silent except for the soft hum of the environmental controls. The merger can still proceed, I continued professionally. However, there will be conditions. First, full credit for the technical review will be reassigned to the junior associates who actually performed it. Second, Maxwell and Brooks will implement a comprehensive ethical oversight program. And third, I paused, meeting her eyes, you personally will be recused from any future dealings with Phoenix Global. You can't do that, she burst out. I'm the senior partner handling this merger. Actually, I tapped my tablet and new documents appeared on everyone's screens. As CEO of the acquiring company I can. And I am. One of her fellow partners cleared his throat. Amanda, perhaps we should. No. She stood up, her carefully maintained composure cracking. This is ridiculous. You're my little sister. You fix computers. You can't just. I stood as well, my voice cutting through her protest like a laser through code. Miss Brooks, this meeting room has recorded every word you've just said. Would you like to continue demonstrating why you're being recused from this merger? She collapsed back into her chair, finally silent. Now, I turned to her colleagues. Shall we proceed with the actual merger discussion? With the properly credited team members. 3 hours later, the meeting concluded. The merger would proceed, but with Amanda's junior associates receiving their due recognition. As everyone filed out, I called out, Ms. Brooks? A moment. She turned back, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. Next time you need IT support, I said quietly, put in a ticket through the proper channels. I believe our help desk operates more efficiently than your sister's private line. That evening, as I sat in my office watching the sunset paint the city gold, Maria brought in a stack of messages from my family. Mom was shocked, Dad was proud, and Amanda had sent a single text. I'm sorry. For everything. Not just today. For all of it. I looked at my reflection in the window, remembering all the times I'd let her belittle me, all the times I'd fixed her computer without revealing who I really was. Success wasn't about proving her wrong. It was about proving myself right. I picked up my phone and typed, next family dinner is at my place. Top floor, Phoenix Tower. Dress appropriately. And Amanda? Bring your junior associates. It's time they met the family. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just showing people who you really are. It's showing them who they could be if they stopped underestimating others. As night fell over the city, I smiled, thinking about how life had come full circle. My sister had always told me to think bigger, to be more ambitious. She just never expected I'd end up bigger than her dreams.